Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Darian and today we're going to be doing yet another 24-hour readathon. So it hasn't been too long since the last one that we did, but I am going to be doing another 24-hour readathon with my besties, Lisa and Casey. I love doing these 24-hour readathons with them. Mostly, I mean, obviously I love spending the time reading, but just spending time with them and on Zoom calls with them is just my favorite thing ever. So I love doing these with them. But let's talk about my TBR for this readathon. It is starting in like 10 minutes. We're going from 1 p.m. today to 1 p.m. tomorrow, so I gotta get a move on. So let's just talk about my reading plans for this readathon. So my first order of business is to finish The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O. This is the group book for the Studio Ghibli readathon, and I'm honestly not loving this book, but it is quite a quick read. I'm halfway through it and I'm hoping I can get through the second half pretty quickly, but yeah, I'm not super obsessed with it, so I'm just kind of happy to be done with this book already, which is a shame because it's so beautiful. But yeah, so I'm gonna finish this first. Then I think what I'm gonna do is start reading Blood Scion by Deborah Fillet. This was the Winer's Book Club pick for July, but we might be moving everything forward a month because all of us are just kind of behind on everything in life right now. So this might be the August pick instead, but either way, I do need to read this at some point. My only concern is that Casey has read this book and has told me how dark and stressful it is. So I don't know how conducive that is to a 24-hour readathon if I'm in the right mindset to read that right now. So I'm definitely planning on starting this and seeing how I feel about it, and if it's too dark I might put it down and pick something else up. But I don't know too much about what this is about, but this cover is stunning. As you can see, I got an ARC of this, but it's already out because that is my life, is getting ARCs and not reading them in time, but it's fine. So I'm definitely gonna start this, but we'll see where it goes from there. I'd also like to continue listening to the audiobook for City of Lost Souls, which was the Shadowhunters read-along book for July. Again, I'm very behind. Everything is fine. But if my eyes get tired of reading, then I'll just play my Switch and listen to that. I started playing Stardew Valley again the other day, so I would love to continue playing that. But those are my reading plans. But like I said, if Blood Scion, if I'm not like in the mood for that right now, I might pick something else up. I'm not sure what. But it is gonna be another casual 24-hour readathon. I am gonna sleep. I'm gonna try to, again, like stay up late, wake up early, but I'm definitely gonna sleep. But yeah, it should be fun. I just can't wait to spend time with my besties. What time is it? Okay, it starts in 6 minutes, so I should probably go. But welcome to the vlog, and yeah, let's do it. Okay. Now, and I have finally finished The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. This kind of took me a while because I kept trying to distract myself because I just was not enjoying this book. The more the book went on, the more I started to dislike it, and then by the end I was just so done with this book, and I'm very happy that it's over now. I don't think the writing was very good. At no point did I care about any of the characters or what happened to them or what was going in the plot. I found the writing very disjointed, and also like things would happen so suddenly that I feel like I couldn't grasp what was happening because they happened so suddenly. Like literally in the same page we would go from the main character talking to some other characters, then all of a sudden she loses consciousness, and then she regains consciousness, and then someone else tries to attack her, and then like all of this would happen so quickly. And so if you zoned out for like a second, you would miss like 5 things. Like things just happened so fast that like I didn't really take anything seriously because I just felt like, okay, well this is gonna be done in like 2 seconds and then something else will happen. And it just also like, it felt very repetitive too. Like I felt like it went over and over again. The character would be talking to other characters, and then there would be like some sort of attack or battle. She would lose consciousness, she would come to, something else would happen. Like, I don't know. I just didn't like it very much, and I'm very sad because this cover is so beautiful, but like I don't know, I didn't really like it, so I gave it 2 stars, which I'm really sad about. Like I was really hoping to like this and I just didn't. And also like I was kind of excited for the romance, but the romance fell so flat that like when things finally started to happen, I just didn't believe in the romance. Like it felt very insta-lovey, and I know this is based on a myth, and so often in myths like insta-love does happen, but I feel like if you're gonna write a novel based on a myth, then you have more time to flesh out the romance, and I just did not believe in the romance at all. Like it seemed like the characters went from feeling very indifferent towards each other to being in love in the span of 2 seconds. Like nothing just felt believable, and like things would happen and it would be like a Deus Ex Machina moment. Like things would happen so conveniently and it was like, okay, like I don't know how we got to this point, but anyway, so I'm very sad about that, but I'm happy to finally be done my first read. Lisa's already read like 8 things by now, but the readathon is going very well otherwise. We've been having a great time Zooming. Casey had to leave to do a few things, but I think she's coming back on the Zoom soon, and I think my next order of business is I'm going to listen to City of Lost Souls for a while, because I just really feel like playing on my Switch for a bit and not reading with my eyeballs. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, and then I'm either going to start Blood Scion, or I do have Spy Family Volume 2, which I might read, and I feel like that will motivate me, because I feel like reading more pages will motivate me more, because I've read 180 pages of this, which is not too bad, but you know, we're 6 hours or almost 7 hours into the readathon and I've only read 180 pages, so I might try to read this. I don't know yet. We'll see what I'm feeling, but for now I'm gonna listen to my audiobook and I'm gonna play Switch. I'm also planning on sleeping in my basement tonight so that I can stay on Zoom later and not bother my mom upstairs, and also because Laszlo, he's been acting really weird at night for the past like little while. He suddenly gets very nervous at night. I think ever since there were fireworks for like Saint Jean Baptiste Day and Canada Day, if you live in Quebec, you know. And I think since then he just gets really nervous at night, so he's been mostly sleeping in the basement, so I think he'll like it if I sleep down here with him. So anyways, that's my plan. So I'm hoping to stay up pretty late. I did have another coffee and I was pretty wired for a bit, and now I'm like crashing a bit, but it's gonna be fine. I also have some snacks. It's gonna be great. So I'm gonna get back to Zoom in and play Switch for a bit, and it's gonna be great, and I'm gonna forget that this book ever happened. Can't wait to talk about it for the Studio Ghibli readathon. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later.
This is what the fans want.
This is what we've been waiting for. So true. There's Casey. Good morning, everyone. It is the next day. It is almost 9:30 and I figured I would update you guys. So last night, I mean, as you probably saw, after I finished The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, I decided to listen to City of Lost Souls, and I played on my Switch. I played some Animal Crossing and some Stardew Valley, and it was a grand old time, and I ended up listening to about 3.5 hours, I think, of the audiobook, but on 2 times speed, so like almost 2 hours, I guess. And I got to a point where I just felt like reading something that I knew I would enjoy, because like City of Lost Souls, I'm liking it more than I did The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, but like it's still not great. It's just kind of meh for me. I feel like it's sitting at a 3 stars. I don't know. I just get so angry at the characters so easily. So I just felt like reading something that I knew I would like. So that's why I picked up Spy Family Volume 2, and this was great. This was exactly what I needed. If you don't know, this series is about this spy named Twilight, and for his next mission he has to create a family in order to like infiltrate this school where his next target, I can't remember if he works at the school or if it's just that his son goes there and he needs to reach him through that, but anyways, he has to create this fake family. So he finds first this little girl named Anya, and he's like, great, she will be my daughter. And then he finds another woman woman named Yor, right? Does it say? Pretty sure her name is Yor. And he's like, great, I have a daughter, I have a wife, everything is great. And they try to enroll Anya into this school. But what makes it more complicated is that it turns out Yor is actually an assassin and Anya can read minds, and so Anya knows that Twilight is a spy and Yor is an assassin, but Twilight and Yor don't know about each other. They don't know that the other one is an assassin or a spy. They don't know that their daughter is a telepath. So it creates a lot of very funny situations, and Anya knows that like she's trying to help her dad in a mission, and so she's just trying her best to help him out, and he's like, what is she doing? I don't know. It's just so great. And like the found family, if you like found family, you have to read this series. It's just so perfect, and I just love the characters so much, and it's so funny. Oh my god. And so cute and heartwarming, and I love it so much. So I gave this 5 stars, obviously. I'm so excited to continue the series. I think I liked the first volume a little bit more than this one, but still, I loved it. So this was exactly what I needed to read. And then ended up reading the first chapter of Blood Scion last night, but then I went to sleep. I think I went to bed at like 1:30, so I was quite tired, and like reading at that point, my eyes were just like, no, no more things. But this starts off very dark already. Like on the first page, there's some stuff going on, and I was like, okay, so definitely check the trigger warnings before you read this book. I mean, it follows a war, so anything to do with war, it's pretty graphic for a YA, so I would maybe consider this like new adult, because it's pretty graphic already. So, you know, there's a lot of violence. I mean, I'm 2 chapters in because I just read another chapter, so I don't know the extent of the trigger warnings yet, but just make sure you know that even though this is YA, it is quite dark. But at first I was like, I don't know if this is the vibe for what I'm feeling right now, but the writing is really good and I'm very intrigued. So I think I'm just gonna continue reading this until the end of the readathon. There's like 3.5 hours left. So I think my plan is to I'm just gonna sit down here and try to read as much of this as I can until 1 o'clock. I have my coffee. I woke up around 8:30, so I only probably fell asleep around 2:30, so I slept about 6 hours, so that's not too bad. I've slept way less in 24-hour readathon, so it should be fine. But yeah, that's my reading update, and I don't know if the girls are gonna be ready to Zoom. I think Lisa's awake, so maybe we'll Zoom. I don't know about Casey. We'll see how the rest of the readathon goes, but I will check in either when it's done today or like in a day or 2, because I might crash when the readathon ends, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just gonna continue reading Blood Scion and see how far I get, and yep. So yeah, okay, see you guys later. So true. Oh my god. My glasses are fogging up, my battery is flashing. Let's try to do this quickly. So it is a few days later and I'm here to wrap up this 24-hour readathon vlog. So I think the last time I updated, I said I had started Blood Scion by Deborah Filley, and the day of the readathon I ended up getting to page 120, 125? Yeah, I got to page 125, which I actually that was part 2, so I was able to read the first part of this book within the 24-hour readathon, which is great, and so far I am really liking this book. It is definitely very dark, but I am able to handle it, but I just want to make sure everyone is aware that this book definitely has a lot of triggering content. I mean, the main focus of this book is there's a war going on, and it definitely doesn't hold back on the violence that's included in this war. So if like war themes bother you, then maybe be careful before going into it is a bit gory at times. There's also a lot of discussion about colonization and genocide, and then there is mention of self-harm, and there has been attempted SA in the book as well. So just keep in mind that this book is quite dark, so just check the trigger warnings before you go into this book, but I am really enjoying it. I love Deborah Fillet's writing so far, and like it's so engaging, and this is her debut, so I'm very excited to see what she writes next. I mean, I'm not done the book yet. Right now I'm about halfway through it because I have read a bit more since the end of the readathon, but I am really liking this book so far. Just, I don't know how to explain it, but it's basically about this girl named Sloane, and she is a scion, which basically means she has these special powers. For her, she's basically a firebender, honestly. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. But right now, the people who have kind of taken over her land, they are against the scions and they're at war with them. They are trying to eradicate them, basically. And if it's discovered that she is a scion, basically her and her whole family will be killed, so she has to keep it a secret. But she ends up getting drafted to fight in the war against the scions, and while she's dealing with that, she's also trying to figure out what happened to her mother who disappeared. So there's a lot going on in this book. There was one scene in particular that I really was like, there's no way the author's gonna go there. And then she went there, and I was like, oh my god. So this book definitely does not hold back. On the back, it is compared to An Ember in the Ashes, and I would definitely agree with that. This like gives me the same feelings that I got while reading An Ember in the Ashes. Like, I'm just rooting for Sloane, and I just want everything to be okay, but I know bad things are gonna continue happening. But I am just really enjoying this book so far. So just to recap, I read the last about 180 pages of The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, and I gave this 2 stars. I didn't really love it. Then I read Spy Family Volume 2, which was 200 pages, and I loved this so much. Obviously, I gave it 5 stars. I didn't like it quite as much as the first volume, but I just love this story and these characters so much, and I am so excited to continue in this series. And then I read the first 125 pages of Blood Scion. So in total, I read over 600 pages. I don't remember the exact number, but I think it was about like 620 or something like that. So I'm definitely very happy with how I did. I think I could have done better, but I just had a great time. Like I kept saying in the vlog, I had a great time zooming with my besties. Like, that's the main thing I like about these readathons, is just spending time with them and reading with them, and I just love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I read and how you felt about them, and I'll see you guys soon with another video soon. Bye!